Good day, welcome to Mayor King's TV News. I am Tiniela Emanuela. Now to begin the news, the headlines. Oborevwori removes to ease Asaba traffic with 21.3 billion naira Ugbolu Okpanam Road project. Revokes 134 billion naira reverse secretariat contract, orders CCECC to refund 20 billion naira. On business, Tinubu government to launch national campaign to promote Made in Nigeria products. On sports, Lookman keen on Galatasaray's transfer. Now the news in full. Delta State Governor Right Honorable Sheriff Oborevwori on Thursday braved the heavy downpour to perform the groundbreaking ceremony for the 21.3 billion naira Ugbolu Okpanam Road project in Oshimili North local government area of Delta State, describing it as another milestone in his administration's aggressive infrastructure renewal drive under the More agenda. Speaking at the ceremony held in Ugbolu, Governor Oborevwori said the 12-kilometer road project reflects his administration's unwavering commitment to building durable and sustainable infrastructure that drives economic growth and enhances the quality of life for Deltans. Recalling that last week, the event was postponed due to the heavy downpour. Addressing the mammoth crowd on Thursday, October 16, at the project site amid a downpour, the governor said the road would serve as a major link between the Ugbolu and Okpanam communities, easing traffic, promoting rural-urban connectivity, and stimulating economic activities in the area. Governor Oborevwori commended the resilience of the people who turned out in large numbers despite the rain and assured that his administration will continue to deliver on its More agenda for the benefit of all Deltans. He urged the contractors to adhere strictly to project specifications and timelines, emphasizing that quality and accountability remain non-negotiable. The Delta State government on Wednesday launched a security trust fund, which saw Government Oborevwori, chairman of Tantita Security Service Limited and chief launcher, donating 10 billion naira to the fund. Keston Pondi, who spoke on behalf of Oborevwori during the formal launching fundraising held at Government House, Asaba, pledging Tantita's full support for the initiative with a princely donation of 10 billion naira. He commended Governor Sheriff Oborevwori for institutionalizing a framework that enables coordinated private sector participation in tackling security challenges. Ebo J, Group Chairman of Access Holdings and Chairman of the occasion, said the launch was a defining moment in the state's history, even as he applauded Governor Oborevwori's leadership, which he said had transformed Delta into one of Nigeria's most peaceful and progressive states. He announced a personal donation of 100 million naira to the fund on behalf of himself and his wife, Ofuri, and expressed optimism that the initiative would mobilize up to 100 billion naira in 2025. On his part, Governor Oborevwori recalled that the Security Trust Fund established by law in 2013 was designed as a collaborative platform for mobilizing resources from the private sector to complement government's investment in security. He explained that the fund would focus on acquiring modern surveillance equipment, operational vehicles, and communication tools, as well as supporting the training and retraining of security personnel and community vigilante groups across the 25 local government areas of Delta State. The national president of the Ijaw Youth Council, IYC Worldwide, Sir Jonathan Ugbolu Sr., has lauded High Chief Government Ogbolu alias Tompolo for his frantic efforts in restoring peace in the Niger Delta region through its pipeline surveillance contract job by empowering thousands of youths, men and women in the region over the last 3 years, while appealing to the federal government for expansion of the scope of Tantita Security Services and Manton Engineering contracts. Lukbobri made the commendation and appeal on Tuesday at the community's critical stakeholders appreciation meeting held at the EUI Event Center in Port Harcourt City, courtesy by Tantita Security Services Limited and Manton Engineering Nigeria Limited, two major oil and gas infrastructure surveillance contractors in the region. The ceremony's mandate was to review significant progress and officially appreciate the vital role community leaders and traditional rulers play in securing Nigeria's critical energy assets. Addressing a room filled with the traditional leaders, security chiefs, and youth representatives, Sir Jonathan Lukpobri Sr. lauded the host companies for their consistently increasing capacity, which he directly linked to a crucial boost in Nigeria's daily oil production figures. The IYC president then made a powerful and sincere acknowledgement of Chief Government Tompolo, recognizing his huge sacrifices and role in the sustenance of peace and security in the Niger Delta region. Furthermore, Lukbobri issued a passionate call for environmental equity, urging the federal government to immediately extend the ongoing cleanup exercise in Ogoniland to all communities across the entire Niger Delta region. He stressed that these host communities are negatively affected by daily oil exploration activities and deserve comprehensive remediation. Moving on to Rivers State, the Rivers government has revoked the 134 billion naira contract awarded to the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation for the renovation, retrofitting, and refurnishing of the state secretariat complex. The permanent secretary of the Ministry of Works, Austin Ezekiel Hart, disclosed this to journalists after the State Executive Council meeting held in Port Harcourt on Thursday, stating that the contract was awarded by the Emergency Rule Administration. Ezekiel Hart said that the council, during the meeting presided over by Governor Siminalayi Fubara, directed the immediate refund of the 20 billion naira mobilization fee already paid to the contractor. The permanent secretary explained that the contracts were awarded in a hasty manner without following due process. He said the council approved, therefore, the revalidation of the bidding process for all four contracts that were earlier advertised in national dailies on February 19, 2025. Also, Mr. Uzoma Ungo explained that the initiative was in line with the federal government's directive that from 2026, all examinations conducted by the West African Examination Council and the National Examination Council would be computer-based. Now on entertainment. One of the fastest growing showcases of African and diaspora cinema, the Africa Film Festival, returns to Houston, Texas this fall with its highly anticipated 2025 edition themed Beyond Borders, Stories That Connect Us. Running from October 24 to 26, 2025, AfriCOF 2025 will celebrate the global strength of African narrative stories that transcend geography, language, and tradition to reveal the common threads of humanity. From groundbreaking feature film and thought-provoking shots to live performances and interactive discussions. The festival will open on October 24 with the epic Nigerian feature King Lotana, a visually striking tale of legacy, resilience, and destiny that masterfully blends mysticism and drama. AfriCOP 2025 will close on October 26 with the internationally acclaimed Aso Ebi Diaries, a dazzling celebration of family, fashion, and cultural pride that has captured hearts worldwide. The film, which recently earned Best Costume at the Toronto International Nollywood Film Festival, promises to deliver a glamorous and emotionally resonant finale to a weekend filled with creativity and connection. The film is currently screening around the USA. Now on the business news. The federal government is set to launch a national campaign to promote made in Nigerian foods and services under the Nigerian First policy as part of efforts to revitalize the manufacturing sector. President Bola Tinubu said this in Lagos at the 5th Adeola Odotola lecture by the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. He was represented at the event by the Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, John Eno. According to him, the campaign aims to shift national demand towards Nigerian products that meet global quality standards, while also addressing the country's import dependency. Tinubu noted that preliminary studies showed that such a campaign could boost the manufacturing sector by up to 6% and create over 500,000 jobs within the next 3 years. He said his administration would continue to prioritize the growth of Nigeria's manufacturing sector through policies promoting production, consumption, and export of made in Nigeria goods. Moving on to the foreign scene. The European Union Foreign Policy Chief, Kaja Kallas, has said a new anti-drone system should be fully operational by the end of 2027 as part of a drive to toughen defenses against Russia and be fully prepared for possible conflict by 2030. The European Commission's defense roadmap also proposes strengthening the EU's eastern borders and building air and space shields. Several EU nations have faced Russian incursions into their airspace, and the US President Donald Trump has urged the bloc to do more to defend itself. Moreover, the European defense plan comes amid growing European fears that Russia will continue its westward aggression after the war in Ukraine is over, as well as continued ambiguity over Trump's long-term commitment to European security. Finally, on the world of sports, Ademola Lookman is interested in a move to Turkish Super League champions Galatasaray, according to Photomark stating that the Nigeria international is a favorite target of Galatasaray's head coach, Okan Buruk. Lookman's compatriot, Victor Osimhen, is also expected to play an important role in bringing him to Istanbul. The winger was pushed to leave Atlanta for their Serie A rivals and Inter Milan in the summer. The 27-year-old submitted a transfer request and went on AWOL for a few weeks after Inter Milan's bid was rejected by Atlanta. Galatasaray are expected to propose an initial loan deal for Lookman before a permanent move thereafter. In the meantime, the former Leicester City player has a transfer market value of €40 million, adding that he has 2 years left on his contract with the Bergamo club. Now to end the news, recap on our headlines. Oborevwori moves to ease Asaba traffic with 21.3 billion naira Ugbolu Okpanam Road project. Ubara revokes 134 billion naira Rivers Secretariat contract, orders CCECC to refund 20 billion naira. On business, Tinubu government to launch national campaign to promote made in Nigeria goods. On sports, Lookman keen on Galatasaray's transfer. That ends the news from Mayo Kings TV as read and edited by Tinela Emanuela. Thanks for watching.